How can we change the workplace so that families, not just women, families can do the two important tasks of their lives? Be good caregivers for their children, be good employees in their workplace, and not feel constantly torn between the two in a kind of dramatic and wrenching way. The whole issue of how do you have a career and how do you have a family is a major issue not only for mothers but also for fathers. How do you provide the care and love for your children, and how do you provide the economic security for your children at the same time? And today, with so many families where both the mother and father work, but so many families where often the mother is the sole support of the family, issues like workplace flexibility. After you have a baby, instead of working 5 days, 40 hours, you might want to work 3 days, 30 hours, or 25 hours. If a child gets sick, if you had paid family and medical leave, you could stay home, or if you had paid sick days, or you wake up in the morning and your child has a fever and you want to stay home with them, do you send them to school, do you stay home, or do you get fired? So these are the questions that are really the questions of our time. And my book is an effort to tell us, how do we create change? How do we create change in the culture? How do we change in policies? How do we get the private sector to realize, hey, it's good business to enable your employees to remain in the workforce, and they will remain the workforce if you give them the flexibility, if you treat them like human beings who also have personal lives. They have much more loyalty. You retain important talent. A CEO who has spent thousands of dollars training people, overnight a mother leaves because she doesn't want to abandon her child at such an early age. If you had 3 or 6 months of maternity leave, she would stay. And it's interesting that really conservatives and liberals or progressives really agree on one thing, that it's important for the mother to stay home at a certain period in a baby's life. How do you do that? It's unrealistic to do that if it means you can't put food on the table and you end up being homeless. So I would hope that we could agree on some of these issues. This is not just a feminist issue, it's an economic issue, it's a parents issue, and most important, it's a family issue. How do we create strong families where you can be a breadwinner and you can be a caregiver at the same time? The book is a roadmap. It says we have to form broad coalitions. Women will probably always, be at the head of the parade, but we can't march in the parade alone. We need men, we need fathers, we need spouses and partners to get the energy and the volume that we need to make this call, because it's always been a back burner issue. Oh yeah, that would be nice to do, but we can't afford to give paid maternity leave. When the United States is one of 4 countries in the world that does not provide paid maternity leave, and many provide paid family leave. They see this as job killers, where in fact they're really job creators, because people will stay in the workforce. And if we lose women from the workforce, we're losing skills that we need in today's times. Somebody said in my book, who's going to pay my Social Security? If we don't invest in our children, if we don't invest in our families, we won't have a productive workforce, and we won't have a stable and prosperous country. Well, feminism is toxic to some people. It means you're anti-male, you may never get a boyfriend if you consider yourself a feminist, and being lesbian is fine, but not everybody is a lesbian who's a feminist. So, all that baggage is attached to the word. But I think we got to get over it. We have to recognize that it really stands for equal opportunity for women and men. And if people don't like the word, use another word, but let's let's get the ball rolling on recognizing that we're never done. You know, who thought contraception would be a hot issue in 2012? I certainly didn't. So here we are. We have to do two things. We have to hold on to what we have in terms of choice, in terms of equal opportunity, but we also have to continue to move forward. And the direction forward is on these family work issues. And that's why I see this as the new feminist, but also everybody else agenda.